Let me tell you what Martin Luther King would say about America if he was alive today. This video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum Store, the Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Let's get into this. If Martin Luther King was alive today, he would be utterly disappointed at America as a whole. Some of y'all may not remember, Martin Luther King was a Christian man. Martin Luther King operated on Christian values. Martin Luther King believed in the family. Martin Luther King believed in not making excuses. He believed in unity. And one of the major things that he believed in that I feel like that a lot of black people are missing today, and other Americans as well, is the idea of not picking a side and going off of principle, not a side, not the Democrat, not the Republican, but principles that have been laid out by God. Martin Luther King didn't want us walking around talking about black man, the white man, the Asian man. He wanted us to focus on the character, focus on the content of your character, not the color of your skin. And Martin Luther King advocated that everybody have a fair opportunity, not just black folks. But at the time, black folks had adversity and didn't have fair treatment in America. So what did he do? He advocated to get that fixed. And I'm telling you, he said his dream, that he had a dream in the 60s. We're in 2020, and people still claiming about being oppressed, although they're making millions of dollars a year. Some of them making tens of thousands of dollars a week. I'm talking about the athletes. You're talking about the actors making hundreds of millions of dollars acting. You can go down the list. You're in the best country on planet Earth. The best dispensation of time for black people is right now under President Trump. And see, Martin Luther King, if he was alive today, I believe he would have been a supporter of President Trump. Now, he wouldn't have been having him preaching at his church, but I guarantee he would have been invited to the church. I guarantee you Martin Luther King would have went to the White House to discuss with the president things that could help benefit the black community. And President Trump has been completely open and transparent and inviting people into the White House and saying, hey, let's have a conversation. What do you want done? What can I do to help? Kim Kardashian, she ain't even black. Kim Kardashian came into the White House along with other people and was able to at least activate or secure prison reform, getting people sentence communed, all of the above. He invited every single one of them crybaby athletes to the White House to say, let's have a conversation. If you got some people that you want to be released from prison that are eligible according to the First Step Act, then give me the names. They never showed up. Every HBCU president went to the White House. You can go to that list. Pastors, over 100 pastors from all over the country, black pastors, went to the White House to talk to the president. The president has allowed multiple pastors to come into the White House and pray for him, lay hands on him. The most, the most pro-Christian president that I have seen is President Trump. Advocating, just the other day, advocating in the Oval Office for returning prayer back to schools. Some people don't know that because they try to tell you he's a racist every 5 minutes. But these are the things that I feel like Martin Luther King would have been advocating for. Transparency in the medical field. Everybody's running around saying we need healthcare reform and all this other stuff, but the president is actually doing something. The president is actually signing legislation and making executive orders for hospitals to be transparent about how much they're charging you. The president is advocating and paid more money to HBCUs than Barack Obama did. The president, obviously, the prison reform. That's something that Martin Luther King would have done, would have advocated for. Prison reform, the First Step Act, urban revitalization, an investment of over $100 billion into urban areas. Majority of them are black. I don't know how many black people have been able to go to the White House and able to talk to the president. He has lifted up, supported through social media and in person, a tremendous amount of black influencers and leaders that are living today. How is that man a racist? How is that man having objective view or a different view, not objective view, but a different view from what Martin Luther King had? President Trump isn't just creating legislation and doing stuff just for black people. He's doing stuff for everybody in America that's making everybody better. When you cut taxes, it don't have a race on cutting taxes. There's no race on lowering the unemployment in this country. There's no race on raising wages in this country. There's no race on any of that. Partnerships with Canada and Mexico. There's no race on the benefits that come with that. The preliminary agreement that he just made with China. There's no race on that. Everybody wins when people do that. And I believe that's the same thing that Martin Luther King would have been advocating for. But unfortunately, people on the left, the Democratic Party, they want to lie to you. And I want to tell you this, and I mean this from my heart. They have to lie to you because they want to win an election. Do not be fooled by reality versus politics. The reality says that the president is actually doing more for black people in this country and doing more for Americans than probably any other president. And he's only been the president for 3 years. Politics says that he's a racist. He's prejudiced. He hates black people. You could go down the list. Those are politics. Those are people who have to say something negative about the man because they want to win an election. It goes both ways. They do it on both sides. Wait till you get to the debate. Trump is going to trash them. They're going to try to trash Trump. It's the way politics go. But you, as an informed American, you need to make a decision in your mind that you need to be educated. That it's invaluable for you to be educated. Look at policies. Look at facts. Look at reality. How does it hurt our country to be pro-law enforcement? How does it hurt our country to be pro-securing the border? We allow the most immigrants, refugees into this country than all other countries combined in the whole world. Millions of immigrants we allow in our country legally. How does it hurt us to have borders and have restrictions when every other country around us has the same restriction and laws? None of that is a bad thing. And so I'm making this video to remember Martin Luther King, but also bring reality to politics. And while everybody's celebrating Martin Luther King and his legacy, understand that his legacy is congruent to a lot of things that are going on today. And I'm not talking about necessarily morality. I'm talking about policy. I'm talking about what he stood on. Martin Luther King wasn't pro-choice. And if you think he was, then you need to read. You need to read more. You need to understand Martin Luther King's faith. And I guarantee you, Martin Luther King was an advocate of the Second Amendment, because Martin Luther King wanted everybody to be fairly treated, related to the Constitution of the United States of America. That was his whole advocacy. So anyway, I'm done with all this talking. Y'all know how I feel about Martin Luther King. You know how I feel about the president, the current president, President Trump. And I implore you to be more educated and don't be fooled by these lame duck Democrats that have been in office forever and done nothing. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live. Make sure you visit the Officers Tatum store. The Officers Tatum store, make sure you sign up for our rewards program so you can get all the cool benefits that come with supporting B Tatum and supporting our store. Thank you guys, man. I love you. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you share the video. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.